Good morning to everyone who's in our Board of Public Works chambers this morning and to everyone who is joining online on our Zoom platform. It is about 10:04 and we should get started in the next couple minutes. If I could request that someone on our Zoom platform confirm that my audio is going through, I would appreciate it. If Dr. Romano would unmute and let me know if you can hear me, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, TJ, we can hear you.
Awesome.
Or at least I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Romano.
Thank you.
And so for anyone who would like to offer public comment or commentary on any of our items on our agenda this morning, if you're in the room, there are speaker cards located at the back of the room on the table. I would ask that you would fill one of those out at this time and bring it to me. If there's anyone on the Zoom platform who wishes to offer public commentary or comment on any of our items this morning, please press *9 to raise your hand, *6 to unmute, and I can record your name and the item that you wish to speak on for the record. And seeing no hands raised on Zoom and no speaker cards forthcoming, I will make a note of that. Thank you. And we should get started momentarily.
We're on council? We're recording already?
Hold on just one, I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me, President Garcia. And we are in record mode.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting for the Board of Public Works for Wednesday, April 19, 2023. TJ Knight?
Good morning, President Garcia. This is TJ Knight, Assistant Executive Officer, taking role in establishing quorum. President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Reyes are present. We do have a quorum. Commissioner Corson will be joining our body a little bit late this morning, and I will make a note for the record when he does join. He is on official city business. We are also joined by City Attorney Representative Mr. Ted Jordan. Once again, I'm Assistant Executive Officer TJ Knight. This morning, we have no speaker cards under public comment, no neighborhood council commentary, and no speaker cards under any of our items.
Great, thank you very much. Given that we do not have public comment, public comment is now officially closed. Moving on to the approval of the minutes of Friday, March 31st, 2023. Is there a second to my motion to approve this item?
Second.
Thank you, VP Villegas. TJ Knight, there's a first by me and a second by Vice President Villegas to approve the minutes of Friday, March 31st, 2023.
Yes, very good. And we will take a roll call vote on this item, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes, and the item is approved.
All right, well, welcome everyone. It's a really nice spring morning today, and it's really exciting. We have two presentations. So welcome to everybody that's joining us via the social platform, and then also those folks that are here. We have a full house, and it's really nice to see here everybody that's joining us. Like TJ Knight said, Commissioner Corson will be joining us a little later, but first I want to kick it over to my partner here, Dr. Davis, President Pro Tem, who is going to lead us in today's presentation of the Historical Black College and University Fellowship Program recognition. So, Mr. Dr. Davis.
Good morning, distinguished colleagues and all of those who have come to the meeting today for the Los Angeles City Board of Public Works. I'm here today to talk about some great news for the City of Los Angeles in terms of our work on diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have been, for the last year, working on our internship programs where we were able to give an opportunity to 36 students from throughout the country in terms of where they attended school, but many of them came from the Los Angeles area and they attend historically black colleges and universities. As the mayor, Karen Bass, has been talking about opportunities for employment and how we are able to execute those positions that we have to make sure that residents from the area are filling those jobs. We have looked towards those students, many of whom have chosen to go to colleges in different places throughout the country, and what we could do to inform them of the opportunities of employment that exist in Los Angeles, specifically in engineering. And so, as you know, we have presented those students to this board, and we've had an opportunity to have our engineers, our supervising engineers, to work with them, all 36 of them. And we are a state in California in terms of public policy that has what we call in many regards an affirmative action ban in terms of policy Proposition 209, which in many ways did present a challenge in terms of reflecting the numbers of individuals in the community being seen and experiencing the employment opportunities that exist in the city. So we know that working together and having a vision from our city council and our mayor's office that we wanted to reflect an employment culture in Los Angeles that reflected the citizens that live here. In looking at our own data, we discovered that there was some underrepresentation, particularly of African Americans, and so we went about the business to get a grant from the City Council's Innovation Commission. And I was very fortunate to work with some of the engineers here in the city of Los Angeles and our executive officer. I was working with Michael Simpson, who is our supervising or principal engineer from the Bureau of Sanitation, and as well as our executive officer, Dr. Fernando Campos, as we wrote the grant for our internship program for those 36 students. And as a result of that, we were able to willingly on our own create opportunities for our engineers to meet students from various areas who originally went to high school here, many of them, and to spark their interests in returning to Los Angeles. As a result of our work, we were recognized nationally. Again, there are 9 states in the United States of America that have these affirmative action bans that says that there is no preferential treatment based upon race and gender, but at the same time, that very policy also says that you cannot exclude people based upon race and gender either. And so therefore, it is important when we look at the data to make sure we have a city that is open, that is inclusive of all people. I'm very happy to come here today long story short, to say that we were recognized by the National Society of Blacks in Engineering, a national conference of engineers, for our outreach. And we were the winner out of all of the cities in the United States of America for our innovation in terms of our behavior to reach out to those who pay taxes in Los Angeles to make sure that they were included. And when you make these activities happen willingly, you don't need a law. We are open to all people because we want to be. We are not made to do it, we want to do it. And so I'm happy to tell you that I had a chance 3 weeks ago to go to Kansas City to the National Society of Blacks in Engineering, where they recognized the city of Los Angeles with this Golden Torch Award for corporate diversity and leadership. And it says the City of Los Angeles and National Society of Blacks in Engineering because of our innovation. So it looks like an Oscar. And as we think about inclusion, and as we think about thinking out of the box, and we think about what our responsibility as government officials, what our responsibility is, inclusion is in fact what it is. Today, I would like to thank the engineer who helped to write the grant with us. We conceptually took some of the concepts from the Public Works Bureau of Sanitation, Engineering Day, Innovation Day, Science and Technology Day. And those were the three concepts around which the interns who came from all over the country here to the city of Los Angeles last year, they rallied around those concepts and were able to learn different areas of engineering, from structural, civil, electrical, mechanical, all of the subspecialties of engineering. And so the first person I want to recognize is the principal engineer from the Bureau of Sanitation, who helped us to not only write the grant, but more importantly, to implement the program. And by the way, this program involves all of the engineering hiring units in the city of Los Angeles, be they departments or be they bureaus. And so I am so proud that we have been nationally recognized for our implementation and execution of inclusion programs despite public policy challenges. I'd like to thank the engineer who was the key person who helped us to implement the program, Michael Simpson.
Good morning, Madam President and board members. It's happy to be here this morning. I want to thank all the city departments and bureaus that are here. Without you guys, it wouldn't have been done. I see the city engineer here. I think we have somebody from Water and Power here. Street Services came. So you guys have really been behind us. I'd like to thank some of our internal partners, JPL, APWA, American Public Works Association, American Society of Civil Engineers, the University of Delaware, and the Association of Climate Change Officials. We touched 36 people's lives. I think we made a difference in people's lives in this program. This is really a service-based type of initiative. So when you do service, you actually do service to yourself. So during this program, maybe become a better leader, hone my leadership skills, know how to operate these different departments. But the key thing, I think, is that it was very impactful and powerful. Every place I go who knows about our program say they want to do a similar program that the city of Los Angeles does, and how can I help them? So this has been a wonderful experience, and I hope we can keep it up. We already got our students lined up for next year for our internship program, and I like the way the board has supported us. They've always been there for us, Madam President, and thank you so much.
Madam President, I also had a recognition for Commissioner John Merritt, who is the Innovation and Performance Commission Chair. He wanted to make sure that when we were able to get the funding, that we would recognize their effort to get us going on this effort. And he needs to know that not only did we do a good job at executing the program, but that our innovation has been a model for other states, Florida, Michigan, and other states that have affirmative action bans, it shows you nobody is being forced to do anything. It's that we have found common ground on our values, and we have the leadership from our city council and from our mayor's office that says we want everyone in our city to partake in employment opportunities. And by that, we agree that we want to hire people from the various communities that is Los Angeles. And we thank the Innovation Commission for giving us the opportunity to display this innovation. Finally, I want you to see, oh, you're here. I'm sorry, I didn't see you here. Okay, and from the, Bianca, by the way, thank you for being here for Commissioner, and she is the Executive Officer for the Innovation Commission, in addition to the fact that she matriculated at one of our premier historically black colleges and universities, Howard University, where the Vice President of the United States is an alumni. So, Bianca.
Thank you so much. I just want to say on behalf of the Innovation and Performance Commission, and then also as an HBCU graduate and a native of City of Los Angeles, that it has been such an honor to be able to work on such a program like this and to actually see it be something that's going to be implemented in the following years, and also has other cities looking at us and nationally recognized. It just really highlights the H in historically black colleges and universities, and it also highlights that representation matters. Representation got us here, and representation is going to keep pushing us forward, and I'm grateful that the Innovation Performance Commission was able to help with this. Thank you.
And one other final recognition is Dr. Fernando Campos, our executive officer here in Public Works. We were the fiscal officer for the program. And of course, you know, Dr. Campos and I always like to match wits with our various higher education accomplishments. And so it was a pleasure to work with him and to talk about some of the various innovative academic policies that we could apply to the program. So I want everybody to know that we thank Dr. Campos, and I'm always challenging him, and I look forward for us working for other innovation ideas in the future. And with that, we'd like to take a picture with you, Madam President, and my distinguished colleagues with this, we could call it an Innovation Engineering Oscar. We'd love to take this picture with you to commemorate and to acknowledge our accomplishments for doing outreach. And I would just simply conclude in an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And through all of the departments and bureaus in the city of Los Angeles, we worked together. And look what we were able to accomplish. Thank you so very much for giving us the opportunity to be recognized.
Thank you so much, Dr. Davis, for leading us, and it would be remiss if we don't say a couple words, and then we go out and say take our pictures. I don't know if the commissioners want to say words. I'll give it to Vice President Villegas, and then Commissioner Reyes, and then I'll end, and then we definitely are going to go out and take some pictures with that Oscar.
Sure.
Thank you so much. I won't be long, but just a big recognition also to you, Dr. Davis, for just your ongoing tenacity to keep, with this program and to look for ways that the city can be also innovative, and working with our commission as well to be able to bring in other methods and other funding behind it so that we can actually go out, to the United States, to other universities, to be able to solicit that brain power to help us in the city of Los Angeles. I just want to recognize you and just the entire program, that we've led. We've also recognized the students here just a couple of weeks ago, but I think it's just your tenacity and your leadership that's gotten us to where we're at today with that beautiful award that you were able to receive not that long ago. Congratulations.
Thank you. That means so much coming from a fellow Trojan.
Right on.
Thank you. Commissioner Reyes?
I also want to echo what VP Villegas said. Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis, for your leadership in this space. It really talks and demonstrates our diversity and inclusion. And I just want to confirm and really articulate that our diversity is a fact, but inclusion is really a practice, right? It's like saying that with diversity, you get invited to the party, but with inclusion, you get invited to dance. And that's really what is interesting in this program. I really appreciate all the partners, the stakeholders who's making this happen, because when we talk about diversity and inclusion, that's really based on the principle that people are the soul of our organization. And they do not only bring those skills into it, but also the different characteristics that affect the work environment. And that speaks about the richness of our workplace, the talents, and the future of the city of Los Angeles. So I just want to thank everyone who are here today. Thank all our people that we are recognizing who really carved out time to make this program successful. Thank you so much. And, you know, we're all very supportive of this program, and we want it to be an emblematic symbol of how we work together in unity. And as Mayor Bass said, lock arms, right? To make sure that we make progress here in our beautiful city of Los Angeles. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I won't belabor it long because I know everybody's eager to take that picture. But I will say that, Dr. Davis, I've seen this program grow for, I think, since day one, and Mr. Michael Simpson as well. And thank you for the commission fund to fund this program, this idea that Dr. Davis had many years ago. But it wasn't just an idea, it was a proven fact. We needed to hire more African-American engineers, and we needed to fill those seats with a diverse culture, and that's what definitely Dr. Davis set out his mind to do. And here we are years later, and I say years, this is before COVID. He was already working on this. Before COVID, Dr. Davis was already traveling out to the East Coast to recruit some of these engineers. And so it's been a long journey, but a well worth journey to all of you. I mean, we just got recognized as a city to do such an innovative program, and that speaks volumes. So thank you to all of you that have been involved. Dr. Davis for being such a great leader on this. Mr. Michael Simpson for also being a great leader. I mean, I hear a lot of great things about you all the time. So I don't doubt that you put in your heart and your true effort into this program. I mean, you guys got us a national award. What else can we say? You know, like check. But I do want to say that, you know, all those fellow interns that you guys have touched with this program will never forget their time here in LA. They will always feel like they have an arm to reach, and whenever they do need and want to have employment or want to serve, they will be able to call us, because I know all of you reached out and became mentors to each and one of them. And we heard it through their testimonials when they were here towards the end of last year, I think they were here. And so I just want to say that I can't wait to see the fruit of what you guys have done in years to come. But because it wasn't just 36 members you guys touched just this year, you've touched their families and the families they're going to make, and that speaks volumes. So I just want to say thank you for improving the lives of so many other folks that probably wouldn't have known what it is to work for the city or what we have here, or that there's a Bureau of Engineering, or there's a Bureau of Sanitation, or the Bureau of Contract Administration. They wouldn't have known that unless they came here and experienced it themselves. So thank you for doing that huge effort you guys do, flying kids across the country, but making sure that they were here in our board and met with our folks and traveled through our projects here in the city. So congratulations to everyone that's been involved. It's been a really pleasure, but not just a pleasure, like a heartwarming pleasure to be doing this. So congratulations, we're very proud. I don't know where you're gonna put that Oscar, but
Put it somewhere.
we're gonna put it somewhere. And I just wanna say that we're all very proud to have been part of it, but also very proud that you led the way. Thank you to everybody, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, President Garcia.
Thank
Appreciate
you. We will take about 2-3 minutes to take pictures. So if you can just hang on to all of you that are in the virtual platform, and we'll be back.
Okay. Okay, wherever you want it. You want us back there? Okay.
Where is it?
Definitely. Okay, will do.
Okay, you have my number. Yeah, okay.
Well, thank you, everyone, for that very special presentation. And nevertheless, it's like Engineer Day here because we're about to celebrate another great engineer from the Bureau of Engineering. And with that, we have our city engineer here with us, Ted Allen.
All right, thank you very much, President Garcia, and thank you, Commissioner. Oh, sure, go ahead. Oh, no problem.
Give us a second. You didn't record my intro to Ted? Oh,
I'm so sorry, President Garcia. We're now recording a pause for our picture.
no problem. Okay, well, I won't do it again, but Ted Allen, our city engineer.
Thank you so much, President Garcia and board members and representatives. It's always a day of mixed emotion, the Rory Shaw Award for us. This is our most outstanding employee of the year award, as many of you know, and it may be the first time some of you hearing it. So it's a happy thing in remembering the memory of Rory Shaw and celebrating the outstanding employee, but at the same time, it's a bit somber, you know, recalling losing one of our coworkers years ago. So I'm going to go through the history of Rory Shaw for those that aren't familiar with this award, and it's in his memory. And then I'll talk about our outstanding employee this year. So Rory was born on September 4th, 1957 in Aurora, Colorado. After attending local schools in Traverse City, Michigan, he pursued studies at Michigan State University, where he was awarded a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics in June of 1979. Following graduation, Rory joined the U.S. Navy as a lieutenant, and he attended Nuclear Power School and became part of the Navy's Nuclear Power Training Unit. It's just one of the many unique things about Rory. Rory was a very unique person. Subsequently, he attended the Surface Warfare Officers School, after which he served aboard the USS Truxtun, a nuclear-powered cruiser. His duties included nuclear power and classified assignments. He was honorably discharged from the Navy in March of 1984. In 1985, Rory returned to Michigan State, where he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in civil engineering in 1990. Now, they often talk about civil engineering. What does civil engineering mean? Where did it get the name? Well, many people believe, and probably is true, civil engineering was the opposite of military engineering, which kind of preceded it. So it's the non-military side. So Rory really did both. He was in the military, and then he chose the civil engineering path. Following graduation, Rory was recruited by the City of Los Angeles Department of Public Works in 1991 as a civil engineering assistant in the Wastewater Systems Engineering Division. Over the years, Rory received many awards and commendations, including from the Department of Public Works Meritorious Achievement Award and Going Beyond Expectations citation, two of the highest awards presented by the Board of Public Works at that time. He received his professional engineering registration from the state of California as a civil engineer in 1999. At that time, the city, much like today, still had found itself in need of more and more emergency sewer repair work. Rory's technical expertise and commitment to public service led him to the position of Civil Engineering Associate 4 as the Chief Emergency Construction Engineer for the city's emergency repairs of the city's 6,500-mile sewer system. He was the head of that group. He was the heart and soul of that emergency sewer repair program at that time. As many of you know, you still to this day get emails, about emergency repairs. Well, he would have been the one, and he was often the one out in the middle of the night or on weekends. And as it so happened, that was how we lost Rory. He was out on a Sunday during heavy rainstorms. There was a sinkhole, and tragically it expanded beyond what they were aware, and he was swept away to his death. And it was a very traumatic time for the Bureau of Engineering, still hard and emotional on a lot of us. He was survived by his mother and sister at that time. His mother, Shirley, was here for all the presentations over the years. Sadly, she recently passed. His sister, Leslie Body, is on the call today, I believe. So she's here if we want to get a word from her at some point during this presentation. She may be willing to do that. I had the honor of knowing Rory from when I first started in 1993. I was in the Stormwater Management Division at that time in Bureau of Engineering. He carpooled with a coworker of mine is how I met him, and we would often hang out and whatnot. He was such a great person, so honorable. So some of the key things that stood out about him: honest. He would never lie. He was always honest. Sometimes brutally honest. He would say the things maybe we wanted to say but were afraid to say, but in a nice way. Hardworking, one of the most hardworking people we had, which is why he was out on a Sunday on that day. Very, very smart. Even among us engineers in engineering, he stood out as a very technically competent person, and funny. He had a nice, dry sense of humor sometimes and a great smile, and he was one of those people that when he smiled, you saw it in his eyes. He really just was such a joy to be around. Those interested in learning more about Rory, we have more details in our March 2nd, 2005 newsletter, which is available on our website, eng.lacity.org, and there's details about his memorial, and Mayor Hahn spoke, and there's quotes, and unfortunately I can't go through it all today due to time, but we have that available on our website. At his memorial at City Hall that year, he passed in 2005, former city engineer Gary Lee Moore announced that we were going to do this outstanding employee recognition in Rory's memory every year. And the qualifications for that, recognizing the person that Rory was, we wanted to recognize people that fit that model. He demonstrated outstanding, so these are the criteria for winning the award. Demonstrated outstanding dedication to duty or outstanding leadership qualities, make significant contributions in furthering BOE's mission and goals by performing their duties at a level of excellence far exceeding established standards, developing partnerships with the Board of Public Works, other city departments, bureaus, and public agencies, establishing a reputation for professional service, recognized and respected by colleagues, clients, and/or supervisors, and demonstrate extraordinary problem-solving capability. It's my great pleasure this year to announce our winner, and I'll have her come up, and then I'll speak about her, and then we'll have her speak. But Marina Quinones from our Architectural Division, Senior Architect, so congratulations. This being my first year doing this as city engineer, I messed up and forgot the trophy at work, but my team bailed me out and got it here in time, so thanks, Jose and team. But we have this very nice plaque that we would like to present to you, Marina, and you can set it up here, but I wanted you to be able to see it. Excuse me, on the wrong page here. So Marina, I think a lot of you probably know Marina because she has been around the board quite a bit. Marina definitely meets at a very high level all of those criteria and many others. She's just such a pleasure to work with and so professional. I'm going to go through her bio a little bit and then we will hear from her. She obtained her bachelor's degree in architecture from Woodbury University, first Pierce College, right, associates, and then Woodbury University, bachelor's in architecture, and then UCLA master's in architecture, so we're keeping up with the, the rivalry here. It's okay, I'll put Marina up again. She started with the Bureau of Engineering in October of 2005, so actually 8 months after Rory passed, Marina started with the Bureau of Engineering 17 years ago now. Do you want to set that down? I don't want you to have to hold it the whole time. She's a senior architect now in our architectural division. She's been working in design and construction for those 17 years. She's been our lead for one of our biggest humanitarian efforts, well, probably the biggest in the last year, which is trying to end homelessness. And she's been working on our tiny home village projects and bridge home projects. She's been the lead of those and really has just done amazing things. The homelessness initiative that she oversaw delivered 37 projects in the last 3 years with a construction cost of $200 million and providing 3,693 interim beds. She continues to be a leader in those efforts to eliminate homelessness. She serves as one of my appointments to the citywide team, working with Mayor Bass's team on her the mayor's executive directives to address homelessness and affordable housing. Marina's dedication and leadership have been and remain instrumental in accomplishing BOE's mission and goals for the city. Marina has embraced the multifaceted approaches needed in our diverse city. She's developed partnerships in various city departments, bureaus, counties, and state agencies, as well as contractors and design consultants, while concurrently building an exceptional in-house team for the successful delivery of the homeless program projects. She never shies away from difficult assignments, not even close to it. She eagerly volunteers. And some examples of some of the things she's done for us going above and beyond recently. She's done speaking engagements at Cal State Northridge, Center of Southern California Studies. She was a speaker at the American Institute of Architects Design for Dignity Conference. She was a speaker at the Planning Conference, where she reviewed shelter and housing program. She was a recent speaker at the Women in BIM conference. I personally asked her to do that one, and she was volunteered very eagerly, and they were very happy to have her. And she will be this summer presenting the shelter and housing program at the AIA conference. She's an all-around exemplary employee. She's a pleasure to work with in all regards, and she's very, very well deserving of this Rory Shaw Outstanding Employee Award. And so with that, congratulations, Marina. It's my pleasure to present you with this award. And before we have you speak, I do want to also recognize we have many of the past award winners. We normally read all the names, but honestly, the list is getting pretty long, so I think I'm just going to ask all of you to please stand. But the list is on our website also of all the past award winners, so round of applause for past award winners. And President Garcia, with that, do I turn it over to Marina now, or do you speak first and then her? What's the order we do here?
We can do either way.
Okay.
Is Marina ready to go?
Yeah, let's hear from Marina.
Let's
maybe
hear
first.
from Marina.
Okay, thank you.
Gosh, thank you. Good morning. I am, actually, I'm going to lower this because you're pretty tall, Ted. I'm humbled and honored to be here receiving an award, sorry, I'm a little emotional, an award that honors dedication and excellence. I thank my parents for this. They built the foundation of hard work within me and all my siblings. I'm grateful for them. And even though my mom is no longer with us, her love continues to pour joy beyond words. In 2005, I was actually transitioning from intern to associate. I did 2.5 years of internship before. And I remember Rory Shaw, and I remember the story. I would actually like to thank Leslie for stepping into her mom's role, for being present with BOE and carrying Rory's legacy as a public servant. So Leslie, thank you. I know you're on. For me, public service within the Bureau has allowed me to impact various communities, both affluent and underserved. I've had the opportunity to foster education and dialogue about design and communities, about design with communities and design professionals, especially the last 4 years as the Bureau of Engineering has helped tackle one of LA's biggest humanitarian crises, to house the unhoused. The Bureau has looked at design as advocacy, not just a deliverable. It's been a great honor to work alongside many management analysts, architects, engineers. Here today, actually, they're standing in the back. This award may bear my name, but I do stand on many shoulders, and I do want them to stand up because I see their hard work and dedication every day. Come on, you guys, don't be shy. Come on. Thank you. I have also had the opportunity to be mentored by some really awesome individuals. Mahmoud Karimzadeh and Alan Kawaguchi have retired, but I still managed to get Alan out to have lunch with me, and I learn a lot from him. Stephen Fierce, our principal architect, who to me has been approachable and easy to talk to, and I thank you, Stephen, for your support. Jose Fuentes, who has been a great mentor through the construction of shelters over the past few years. Thank you, Jose, for challenging me to grow in that area. It's been great to learn from you. Deborah Weintraub, who has been a great example of how to address various agencies and the value of design in our built environment. Thank you, Deborah, for being a friend and an inspiration. And most recently, Ted Allen, our city engineer, who has given me opportunities to represent the Bureau in various settings. Thank you, Ted, for your confidence in me. I do look forward to working with you a lot more. And I also want to say thank you to Alfred and Crystal for being here. I haven't worked with them much, but thank you. I'd also like to thank the board. I didn't come to ask for more money from you today, but I want to just say thank you for your support as we deliver very challenging projects. Lastly, I'd like to thank my family, those who are here and those who are in the webinar. Thank you for your love and support, especially my husband Felix and Anaya, my daughter. Anaya is a freshman in high school. She's probably really embarrassed right now. She's intelligent and a talented athlete. It's an honor to see her grow up. And my husband Felix, he put me through college. And he encouraged me to intern at the Bureau for free summer of 2003. He said, experience and opportunity is worth much more than money. And here I am 20 years later, and so it's been a great journey. I'd like to close with a reminder to us all that life is fleeting. Let's make time to laugh often. Thank you. Should I stand here?
Yeah. I don't know if you want to check to see if Leslie wanted.
I was, gonna mention that. Go ahead, TJ.
Ms. Leslie Shaw Body, if you would please press *6 to unmute.
I think I've unmuted.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I appreciate very much Dr. Davis's opening comments, topics. I'm in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Ann Arbor is a city of inclusion and diversity. I think mostly because we're driven by the University of Michigan, and that would be the Wolverines. Just inclusion and diversity is so important. And then to hear that the award is going to someone that's taking care of the unhoused and providing for our most vulnerable populations, it just speaks volumes. So I'm just a bit overwhelmed, but I'm happy to be here, and I'm so proud of everybody. So thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Leslie Shaw, it's a pleasure to have you here. And, before COVID, you and your mother would come from the East Coast to join us here in person. I just want to say that your spirit here is very important, and we're very happy that you were able to join us. And my condolences on your mother's passing. She was a very important piece to being here. And I remember even like 5-6 years ago, she was very strong-willed to make sure that she made a presence, and the memory of Rory Shaw keeps on going. And I want to say that we will continue to do this award even after so many, many years happened, because somebody as special as Rory Shaw was to the Bureau of Engineering is something that we won't forget or change. And with that, just exemplifying folks like Marina is even more amazing. The past awardees, all of you join a group of elite engineers that really have established themselves, and not only at the Rory Shaw level, but beyond. So thank you for that. I'll stop there because I want to make sure my commissioners also have time to say a few words to Marina, but I wanted to just address Ms. Shaw and your presence here. And we hope to have you here in person in the next coming years, whenever you feel comfortable to be here. But your family is very much part of our City of LA family.
Thank you so much.
And with that, I will say I'm going to pass it over to my colleagues, and then we'll wrap it up, and then we'll take great pictures after that. So I'll start with Vice President Villegas, Dr. Davis, and then Commissioner Reyes.
Thank you. And thank you to the Shaw family also for being here, and for BOE just for being able to continue on recognizing Mr. Rory Shaw's legacy. And thank you, Ted, for outlining just all the qualifications and what it means to live up to Mr. Rory Shaw's expectations and life. I saw it so fitting when you said Marina's name, so congratulations. Marina, we really are proud of you, and you're so easy to talk to. And so every time I ask questions, you're just so quick to give just honest feedback. And I know that the information that you're giving us is always going to be accurate and on point. And I wrote down just a couple of adjectives before you spoke, but you used them. I wrote down just humility, and that's how you started. And I think that you exemplify that. I thought it was fitting that Mr. Rory Shaw had a complex manner in which to problem solve, and you exemplify that as well. The projects that you are working on sometimes are contaminated, sometimes are small, sometimes are excess lands, right, from Metro or Caltrans, or slivers of land where we're putting in these tiny homes for the unhoused, and you figure out a way to be able, you and your team figure out a way to be able to make that work, and working also with other contractors to get us to goal. It's one thing to be able to give an idea, but to execute it, there's so many different steps. And so I see it very fitting that you are the honoree for this year, and congratulations. Well deserved. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Dr. Davis?
Thank you so much. I want to start out by thanking our Director of the Bureau of Engineering, Ted, for continuing the legacy that the Bureau has in advancing the Roy Shaw Awards, because it stands for excellence and it motivates the employees in the Bureau of Engineering to aim towards excellence. And for that, we are eternally grateful here on the Board of Public Works for what you have done to that end. I want to thank Leslie. I remember her mother coming here as I have sat here for a few years, and it was very rewarding to see her mother come, who so enjoyed the award that they are implementing in the Bureau, but also who was overcome with tears of joy to see those of you who are from the Bureau of Engineering being honored, because you reminded her of the excellence that her son executed when he was living here during his tenure as an engineer. I'd like to thank Maria, because today we have a mayor who has focused on the unhoused. And in terms of public policy, it's an unpopular problem, because often it seems as if it's an endless problem, a problem that never can end. Yet, those of you who have chosen to address that problem, you have courage, determination, and commitment. And Maria absolutely has that. When I think about the program of Inside Safe, the work that you have been doing, Maria, and continue to do, is so crucial to us being successful in getting a significant number of Los Angeles unhoused in housing. You've been doing that. And I've also observed that the tiny house movement is also something that those who have a choice as to where they live in workforce housing have begun to choose to live in tiny spaces as well. So it's a phenomena whose time has come in terms of tiny houses. And again, you and the work that you are doing is going to be a part of the bigger success that I am so sure we're all going to celebrate as we look back with pride a few years from now about how we've been able to tackle what seemed to be a Herculean problem of the unhoused. The work that you are doing in the Tiny House Project is going to make the difference. So thank you so very much, and you are very deserving. Appreciate you.
Commissioner Reyes?
I just want to also echo congratulations to you and to all the awardees, the past awardees, because you guys exemplify the spirit, the legacy of the Rory Shaw Award. It is heartening to note that we have employees who are willing to step up, who have done so much for the Bureau of Engineering and to the city itself because of all the different projects. And now you're involved in the unhoused and really working towards achieving what Mayor Bass's goal is, to create that healthier, safer, happier city of Los Angeles. And she calls it the new LA, right, during her speech. And we are connected to that. Thank you, Ted. Our Bureau of Engineering will be working more on those projects, and you will be a key component. And I just am elated that you are a woman, a female leader, and that we have mentors, and not only mentors, but champions that you mentioned. Thank you for all of that support that we give to our employees all around, because that really matters. That really matters to our employees, to their families as well, that they're able to thrive in an environment that nurtures them, that nurtures their talents, and recognizes those talents as well. So thank you for this special award, and most especially, congratulations, Marina.
On this very special engineering day that we just adopted, I want to say, Marina, congratulations. You are a very well-rounded person. And not just person, a leader, a well-rounded leader. So that just even makes you like a higher, being here, because, just the other things that Ted just mentioned, you doing presentations, you going out in public speaking, you being a mentor to somebody else now, leading such a team, and now being part of this other team as well. The fact that, the tiny homes, and just what the Vice President mentioned, just the different complex situations for each of the different sites that you have been able to work around. I mean, just recently, we were out in Council District 6 presenting, opening another tiny home, and, it was just impromptu, and we were like, okay, Marina, you speak now. And Marina did such a great job, and so not only is she an engineer, I'm sure you're a great mom and a great wife as well, but you're just a well-rounded individual, and I am very proud to share a lot with you in that end, when meaning, as we are women, Latina, moms, everything else, even my name, we share names, by the way. So I just want to say, I'm really proud of you and how you've come along and how you represent us out there. So I just want to say congratulations. It's really rare to see folks like us being engineers, and even rarer, the most rarest, to see you an elite type of engineer. So I just want to say congratulations. You are a well-rounded person, and I'm very proud to have met you and to have been working with you and to continue to work with you. There's more to come, as homelessness now is our priority, and as it should be. And you are just on top of it again. What do we have? 500 tiny homes coming, and I'm sure, Marina, you're on top of that already. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for doing the service, and thank you for doing it from your heart and leading with just, intellect, but also leading from the heart. And thank you for that. We appreciate you very much here at the Bureau of Engineering, and at Public Works. Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, we will take pictures. We'll come back here so we can get the flags in. Bring the award to, there you go. So we'll take about 2-3 minutes to take pictures, and then we'll come right back.
I'll let Ted. Ted, you want all the...
Susan. My staff was able to. I'll go up and I'll put it in the computer. And then right on it. Cool. Yeah. And I'll leave this, typically during the meetings, we leave it up here. But then after the meetings, people feel they want to wipe off the microphone, just, from the last speaker is available. I have actually never seen that. But it's there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Did you happen to bring hard copies of your presentation? Okay. Typically, this is the hard copies because when you put it on the big screen, Garcia's a little bit far away from the screen. Yeah, we typically ask that we hard copies. So next time.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
This is the first time coming here in person.
Okay, cool. All right, no problem. All right, President Garcia, we are once again in record mode.
Great, thank you very much. We had such a very special moment, morning this time with two very nice presentations. And like I said, it was Engineer Day, so all of you engineers feel proud. There was so much celebration and recognition on the other work that engineers do here for the city. So with that, now that takes us to now our business items. It's always so hard to transition from such a nice celebration to a business item. But we are just starting, and Mr. Commissioner Corson, you made it right on time to start with agenda item number 1. And this is a request from the Bureau of Street Services and Council District 9. This is a continuation that we have been putting in our agendas for the past couple weeks and I will continue to put it on the agenda until we have a resolution or there's a final conclusion of what will happen next. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, TJ Knight, for an update.
Very good, thank you, President Garcia. And I do have an update on this item this morning, item number 1. And the update is that the strategic team met on March 31st, including representatives from the City Attorney, Bureau of Sanitation, Bureau of Street Services, Department of Transportation, and Council District 9 Representative Sherilyn Correa. Also, LASA and the Board of Public Works were in attendance. There was discussion of deployment of an action plan, including the abatement issues of vesting of the property. So the property owner has passed away, and the next step is to identify the next of kin or individuals who have a vested interest in the property, if there are any. So that the person of or persons of interest can provide the right of entry. And that is the update for this item.
Thank you very much. We will continue it for 2 weeks from now, TJ?
You could continue it for 2 weeks. However, it might, and this is just a friendly suggestion, 3 weeks would put us on target for May 10th. And during that meeting, Executive Officer Campos is scheduled to facilitate the meeting, so that might be a better date for you. If you want it in 2 weeks, that's fine as well.
Well, let's do May 10th, and then let's do May 10th, but as long as we continue to do work behind the scenes so that May 10th there's an actual next step to what we've already done from today.
Understood.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So that leaves item number 1 as a continuation. Moving forward to item number 2. This is in Council District 14 for a budget increase and amendment to item number 2 to Urban Alchemy Skid Row Cleaning Program, recommending the board, subject to approval by the mayor, to 1, concur with the Board of Public Works Executive Officer to exercise the 1-year renewal option to personal service the contract with Urban Alchemy for the continuation of the Skid Row Cleaning Program. 2, approve the proposed amendment number 2 to the contract between the City of Los Angeles and Urban Alchemy to increase the total contract cost ceiling by $1,904,771.79 from $3,638.23.96 to $5,542,795.75. And 3, authorize the president or 2 members of the Board of Public Works to execute the contract as amended in number 2. And this morning we have Mr. Yu here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis, Commissioner Cozen, and Commissioner Reyes, Bureau representatives, Mr. Jordan and Mr. Knight. My name is Mike Yu. I'm working for the Board of Public Works Executive Office. I'm the program manager for the Skid Row Cleaning Program. Today, I'm here to request the board to exercise the second renewal option so we can continue the current contract for another 12 months term. Also with the cost ceiling increase around $1.9 million. First, I want to provide with board members with some background information for this contract. On July 1st, 2021, under board's authorization, we executed the original contract C-138632 with Urban Alchemy for the Skid Row Cleaning Program. On June 22nd, 2022, under the board authorization, we exercised the first renewal option, so continue the current program for another 12 months with the cost ceiling increase around $1.85 million. The current contract will expire at the end of June of this fiscal year. Therefore, also, the contract has very good contracting performance, and we received a positive feedback from the local communities and the council office. The purpose of this program is to clean the local street in the Skid Row areas, which is the enhancement to the city hygiene services, meanwhile maintain and improve the public hygiene environment for the local residents, especially vulnerable and sheltered populations. Therefore, exercising the second renewal option to continue this contract for another 12 months with the cost ceiling of $1.9 million is necessary. Also, this program is supported by the state grant fund, homelessness, housing, assistance prevention program fund, so there's no impact to the general fund. So this concludes my report. I'm open to any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your report, Mr. Yu. Any questions, colleagues? Commissioner Reyes?
I just want to hone in on the training and workforce development component of this contract, where it requires, some kind of like a targeted recruitment, so to speak, for that workforce. Is that correct?
That's correct. So this program also acting as a workforce development program, mainly aimed for the local homelessness population, also formerly incarcerated population.
And have we been successful? Do we have numbers for the past years that this contract has been in effect?
Yes, normally we have 16 crew members for the whole program. However, this is an ongoing program, so when they finish their on-job training, some of them will move on to the other jobs because they are either from homelessness population or formerly incarcerated. So this is more acting like an on-job training program. I don't have the detailed data here. If you are interested, I can go back and work with the contractor to provide you a report on a later time.
I'm just interested in the transitional part of it, like what happens to them after their term expires, so to speak, and what the transitional job looks like for future long-term employment.
Okay, I will work with the contractor to provide you a report ASAP.
That will work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Any other questions? Well, I'm happy that we're continuing this program, and I know that we have plans to still continue to even beyond this contract, and we're working on next steps for that, right, Mr. Yu?
That's correct, President. So this is the last renewal option we can exercise. We have the two options here. One is to go through the whole RFP process to generate a new contract. However, since the mayor has declared the state of emergency for the homelessness, so the board office is considering to directly amend this contract for another 3 years, subject to board, mayors, and the council's approval.
Correct. They already have the experience, and they've been out there for years now, making sure that the public sidewalks are clean, and their teams are they're large teams, but they do power washing, and they do much more of the cleaning services in Skid Row. Correct, Mr. Yu?
That's correct. The uniqueness about this program is, such as for Bureau of Sanitation Care Plus program, when they clean the Skid Row certain homeless encampment, they have the requirement that they don't get deeply into the encampment to clean the site. However, the Skid Row cleaning team will be able to do that. They can get into fairly close to each encampment and clean the environment there.
Correct, yes. Very special team. Thank you so much, Mr. Yu, for this. I appreciate all the work that Urban Alchemy is doing, and the team, our crew teams that are out there every day. They really do very hard work, and we're excited to next month bring them to our board. So thank you for that, Mr. Yu.
Okay, will do. Thank you, President.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Hearing none, is there a motion on the table to move item number 2 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Dr. Davis. TJ Knight, there's a first by VP Villegas and a second by Dr. Davis to approve item number 2.
Very good. We will take a roll call vote, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsan. I'm sorry, President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes, and the item is approved.
Great, and we'll do that forthwith.
Yes, very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank
And I
you.
think you're here for the third item too, right, Mr.?
That's correct, that's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah, I'll read that into the record now. Thank you so much. Moving on to item number 3, this is a budget increase in contract amendment number 3 to 5 key schools and programs, mobile pit stop and mobile shower programs. Recommending the board, subject to approval by the mayor, to concur with the Board of Public Works Executive Officer to exercise the 1-year renewal option to personal services contract with 5 key schools and programs, 5 keys for continuation of the mobile pit stop and mobile shower programs and care services of the Bureau of Sanitation's Care Plus program. And 2, approve the proposed amendment number 3 to the contract between the City of Los Angeles and 5 keys to increase the total contract cost ceiling by $9,879,262. All other terms and conditions of the original contract remain in effect. And 3, authorize the president or 2 members of the board to execute contract amendment number 3. And Mr. Wu, we have you here again for item 3.
Good morning again, everyone. So I'm here today to request the board to authorize to exercise the second renewal option for the current contract C-3A634. So we can continue the both program for another 12 months term with the cost ceiling of around $9.9 million. First, I want to provide with board members with some background information about both program and the current contract. So on July 1st, 2021, through our RFP process and the Board of Public Works authorization, the original contract was executed for one 12-month term with 2 one-year renewal options. On April 8th, 2022, with amendment number 1, the board authorized to expand the service to the Bureau of Sanitation mobile hygiene unit. On June 22nd, 2022, under the board authorization, the first renewal option was exercised to amend the current contract for another 12-month term with the cost ceiling of $6.2 million. The current contract will expire at June of this year. Therefore, I've been requesting the board for the authority to exercise the second renewal option so it can continue both programs for another 12 months with a cost ceiling increase of $9.9 million. Among the cost ceiling increase, for the services directly under the board executive office will be supported by the state grant fund, HHAP fund, homelessness, housing assistance provision fund, so which has no impact to the general fund. However, for the service expanded to the Bureau of Sanitation, mobile hygiene unit will be supported by the general fund. This 2 program has been going on very successfully. We receive a lot of positive feedback from local communities and the council offices. And also, these 2 programs provide the necessity hygiene services to the vulnerable and sheltered population. So it's very critical to keep this program going for another 12 months. This is conclude my report. I'm open to any question you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Yu. I definitely agree with you. This is a very important and critical program for us in the city. It's our mobile shower and pit stops, and I'm sure we've seen it around the city, and it's just really important that we continue this program as well. So having said that, any questions, colleagues? Vice President Villegas?
Thank you. Just a quick question. Seeing that, we use 2 funds to do this work, after this renewal, what is the plan for the future?
Actually, I have been working closely with the CEO office. According to the colleague from CEO office, the new funding will come to the board office in July of this year. And the program will be on their agenda when they apply for the new state grant fund.
Okay, so you would be applying for state funds for this program?
That's correct. That's
So
correct.
about like $10 million? Like something similar to what we have now?
similar to what we have now. So basically, the process is that at the end of each fiscal year, I will present proposed expenses for both programs to the city office. They review and approve and put into their package to the state grant fund application. So when the city receives the grant from the state, they will allocate that fund to the Board of Public Works.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. And Dr. Davis? No questions on our end. Is there a motion to move item number 3 forward and forthwith?
I second.
Thank you, Dr. Davis and Commissioner Reyes. TJ Knight, there's a first by Dr. Davis and a second by Commissioner Reyes to approve item number 3.
Very good, and we will start with, well, we'll take a roll call vote, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corson.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes, and the item is approved, and we'll move forward forthwith.
Yes, please, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Yu. Your 2 items have been approved now.
Thank you. Thank you, President and board members.
You too, and thank you for all the work you're doing too around this. You are also a very important part in our homeless work that we do, and right now that we're under the state of emergency, your role is very critical. So thank you for doing the work that you do.
Thank you, President.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 4, this is a request from Council District 11, Construct Acceptance, Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant, Secondary Clarifiers Upgrade Modules 1.5, CIP 2438, recommending the board to 1, accept this contract. And this morning we have Ms. Martinez here. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. How are you today? It's nice to see you all. Thank you so much. This project was awarded June 13, 2018 to Kiewit Infrastructure West Company in the amount of $21,857,000 with a contingency of $1,092,900, giving a total authorized budget of $22,949,900. All of the work was completed on April 21st, 2022. The project work provided for rehabilitating the structural components of modules 1 through 5 that were experiencing severe corrosion at 20 out of the 36 secondary clarifiers. The first 16 clarifiers were done under another project, and the rehab components on this project included the steel catwalk system that goes over the top of the holding tank, the flocculation support anchor rods, which is what collects the solids, or makes them bigger solids, actually. Steel plate, the weir supports and their associated anchor bolts, the main drive motor, which is on the shaft of it, the rotating weirs that hold the raking system, and the rotating weirs are at the top, and the raking system and its associated system. This project also provided replacement of the cathodic protection system for modules 1 through 9. 34 change orders were issued during this project, increasing the contract amount by $421,875.66, bringing the total amount to $22,228,875.66. The project was completed at 1.3% above the awarded amount, but 2.9% below its authorized budget. A request to release retention funds less disputed funds was processed May 12, 2022, and a final release in disputed funds was processed on February 8, 2023, after BCA received all required information from the contractor. No funds disputed or withheld, no funds are due to the contractor. Funding was with the WSSRB Construction Fund, Series 2017-A Green Bonds, Fund Number 75N appropriation. The awarded bidder exceeded their mandatory subcontracting minimum percentage of 46.24% pledge, and they complied with all project labor agreement and policy targeted hiring mandates. There are no unresolved property owners' complaints. In connection with this project, the CPERS, the Contractor Performance Evaluation Reports, have been submitted to the Bureau of Contracted Administration, so therefore, we are requesting that the board please accept this contract. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Martinez. Any questions, colleagues? Seeing none, Is there a motion on the table to move item number 3 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second? Thank you, Dr. Davis. TJ Knight, there's a first by BP Villegas and a second by Dr. Davis to move item number 4 forward and forthwith.
Very good. And we'll take a roll call vote on the item, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis. Commissioner Corsand.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes, and the item is adopted forthwith.
Great, thank you very much. Are you here for item 5 too? All right. Item number 5, this is a request from Bureau of Engineering and Bureau of Contract Administration in Council Districts 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 15. Contract award to Access Pacific, Inc., Highway Safety Improvement Program, Project Cycle 8, New Signal Access Ramps, 10 intersections, federal project number SHIPL 5006867. Recommending the board to, 1, declare Access Inc. sole bidder to be the lowest responsible bidder and award Access a contract for this project for $4,854,784.27. And 2, authorize the president or 2 members of the board to execute the contract for approval as to form has been obtained from the city attorney. And this morning, we have Mr. Wong here. Good morning, welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, Board of Public Works. This is George Huang with the Bureau of Engineering. We're here to also present another pedestrian improvement project that's ready for construction, for award of a construction contract, requesting the board for approval. This project was years in the making. We collaborated with the LA Department of Transportation, who some of the members here, Wee-Tran and his folks here helped also collaborate on this project to make this out for delivery. So we really appreciate their support. And with that, I'm going to hand off to our project manager here to give the briefing for this item. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Teddy Gabriel. We are here to present a contract award to Access Pacific for Highway Safety Improvement Program, Cycle 8, New Signal Access Ramp. The scope of the project is to install new traffic signal, street lights, and constructing sidewalk and curb ramps at 8 different intersections across 8 council districts to provide safe pedestrian access to the public. A typical project scope of works located on Figueroa Street and 84th Place. On Figure 1, page 2 of the board report. This scope of work is similar to every other intersections. The project is advertised in October, and we received a bid result in December 14, 2024, from Access Pacific, Inc. And Access is only contractor that submits a bid item. And we looked at different reasons or factors why we received only one bid. So we looked at whether the project is difficult or not, or there is like a size of the project is affecting. So after evaluating this, we believe that the sole bidder is reasonable. The sole bidder is reasonable, responsible and reasonable bidder. The contract bid is higher than, the contractor bid is higher than the city engineering estimates by 1.4 million. So we looked at other bid items, bid result, other project bid results, which is advertised around the same times as this project. And then we, after evaluating this project and the other project bid item, we believe that sole bidder is reasonable and responsive bidder. The project is federally funded and it's subject to city DBE programs in accordance with Department of Transportation, federal, state, and local regulations. The project is advertised with a DBE goal of 22%, but Access pledged a DBE commitment of 51.4%, which is higher than the city calculated level of participation. Access has worked so many previous city projects, Bureau of Contract Administration reviewed their work history and found no significant or unresolved problems in inspection and any other contract compliance. Based on the above findings, BOE recommends that the board declare Access a sole bidder to be a lowest responsive and responsible bidder and award Access the contract for this project. The project is funded federally by Highway Safety Improvement Program, Cycle 8 grant, and city local match. Additional fund also provided comes from Capital and Technological Improvement Expenditure Program.
Thank you so much, sir, for your report, and thank you, Mr. Wong, for your report. I don't have any specific questions. I know we are putting 10 intersections. Are these locations already identified?
Yeah, all the locations are identified. We're installing 8 intersections. 2 of the intersections already removed
I
to
see.
package with other projects.
Got it. Okay. Any questions, colleagues? Vice President Villegas? No questions? Hearing none. Any objections? Hearing none. Is there a motion on the table to move item number 5 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second? Thank you, Dr. Davis. TJ Knight, there's a first by Vice President Villegas and a second by Dr. Davis to move item number 5 forward and forthwith.
Very good. We will take a roll call vote, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
Commissioner Corsand.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes, and the item is approved and will be adopted forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you both. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you. And we're just going to take a change in continue on this meeting. So item number 6 is in council, it's a motion and it's in Council District 11. And this is a subcontract substitution. And Metro Builders and Engineering Group, LTD, recommending that the board concur with the actions of Commissioner Davis approving the request of Metro Builders and Engineer Group Limited for the subcontractor substitution of Advantage Demolition and Grading Incorporated with La Habra Fire Protection and Plumbing for lead abatement for the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant Headwaters Fire Sprinkler System Replacement Capital Improvement Project 2466, and take it away.
Very quickly, I just, and I'm sorry for the interruption. If
Sorry.
you'd like, Vice President Villegas, you can take items 6, 7, and 8 together.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right. So why don't we do that? Why don't I read them in for the record, and then you can continue with your presentation. Thank you. All right. Then we will take items 6, 7, and 8, all dealing with motions to accept the substitutions. So item number 7 is in Council District 12, and that's a subcontract substitution, PALP Incorporated doing business as Excel Paving, recommending the board concur with the action that Commissioner Davis approving the request of PALP Incorporated doing business as Excel Paving for the subcontract substitution of EBS General Engineering, Inc. with PALP Inc. DBA Excel Paving for concrete work for the Balboa Boulevard widening Devonshire Street Federal Project, number STPL 5006840, work order E1908305, and number 8. This is in Council District number 3, and that's a subcontractor substitution, Weissman Construction, Inc., recommending that the board concur with the action of Commissioner Davis approving the request of Weissman Construction, Inc. for the subcontractor substitution of ABQ, Inc. with the New City Plumbing Contractor, Inc. for the plumbing work for the Madrid Theater renovation project. And that's work order E1908433, 8443. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Angela Martinez, Bureau of Contract Administration. I'm happy to say that there's no electrical subcontractor substitutions today. I'm so grateful. Metro Builders and Engineers Group Limited written request was received December 13th, 2022 to substitute Advantage Demolition and Grading Incorporated. The bid listed MBE, SBE, EBE subcontractor for lead abatement on the above referenced project with two OBE subcontractors. One was La Brea Fire Protection and Plumbing to perform the demolition work, and the other subcontractor was Commerce Coating Services to perform the abatement part. This request for approval acknowledges both the active statuses of their California state contractor licenses and their Los Angeles business tax registration certificates, and does not supersede any other section of the specifications or federal requirements. Included with Metro Builders' request was a letter from Advantage withdrawing from this portion of work. They didn't cite the reason for their withdrawal. I read the letter. It said nothing. It just said, please take this as us withdrawing from the contract. We also verified that Metro Builders complied with the good faith effort and the project labor agreement requirements for this substitution. The bid listed amount for Advantage's portion of lead abatement work was $50,000. The amount submitted for approval by Metro Builders for La Habra's portion of work was $30,933.25, and the amount submitted for Commerce's portion of work was $19,026.75 for a grand total of $50,000. The substitution is at no additional cost to the city. Agenda item 7. Excel's written request was received January 3rd, 2023 to substitute EBS General Engineering, the OBE subcontractor that was supposed to do the concrete work for the reference project, with another OBE subcontractor, PALP, which is PALP, also called Excel Paving. This approval request acknowledges the active status of Excel's California State Contractor's License and City of Los Angeles Business Tax Registration Certificate and does not supersede any other section of the specifications or federal requirements. Included with Excel's substitution request was a letter of withdrawal from EBS, and they were citing the increased costs of concrete material and labor forces, which made it impossible for them to perform the work at the original bid amount. Bureau of Contract Administration verified that Excel complied with the good faith efforts for this substitution. The bid listed amount for EBS portion of concrete work was $173,333. Excel will complete this portion of EBS's work for this amount, no additional cost to the city. Agenda item 8. Written request received on November 10th, 2022 from Weissman Construction to substitute ABQ, the bid listed OBE subcontractor for plumbing work on the project with New City Plumbing Contractors, another OBE subcontractor. The request for approval acknowledges again the California State Contractor's License and their City of Los Angeles Business Tax Registration Certificate. A certified letter was sent to ABQ informing them of Weissman's intention to substitute them and notifying them that they had 5 business days to submit in writing their objection. They didn't respond to the letter, ABQ. BCA has verified that Weissman did also comply with the good faith effort and the project labor agreements for this substitution. The bid listed amount for ABQ's portion of plumbing work was $200,000. However, the amount submitted for approval by Weissman for New City's portion was $215,000. So Weissman will decrease its prime participation by $15,000. So the work performed by New City will be at no additional cost to the city. In conclusion, we are asking the board to concur with Commissioner Davis and approve all 3 of these substitutions for these projects. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Martinez. I appreciate you taking out 3 items at the same. I see Dr. Davis has the lights on and Vice President Villegas. No? Oh, you were going to move it? Okay, got it. No objection.
Second it, yeah.
Second, all right, here we go. TJ Knight. We have a first by Dr. Davis and a second by Vice President Villegas to move forward item 6, 7, and 8, and we'll move that forthwith.
Very good. And we'll take a roll call vote, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas. President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsand.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
All ayes, and the items 6, 7, and 8 are approved forthwith.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Martinez. You always do a very great job in our presentations, and I'm very happy that you are here today and just want to wish you a good rest of the week.
Thank you so much, and I want to thank you all for your support in the Public Works job fairs. The tour continues.
Yes, we are. On to
Yes.
the next one. Thank you, Ms. Martinez. All right, colleagues, that seems to be the end of our voting items, and we're moving on to oral reports. We have this is item number 9, Clean Water and Safe Storm Water Capture Programs Update from the Bureau of Sanitation. And this morning we have, I don't have your name, ma'am, but.
Oh, Susie Santalina.
Susie Santalina, nice to meet you. Is this your first time at board?
I was here virtually before, so this is my
Okay.
second time.
So now
It's been
this is-
since October, so it's been a minute.
Okay, well, good to have you here and physically for the first time, and welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much, and apologies for not bringing printouts. Still getting used to coming back, but next time for sure. Good morning, President Garcia, Board Commissioners, Executive Officer, City Attorney Representative, Board Reps, and City Staff. My name is Susie Santalina, an Acting Senior Environmental Engineer with the Safe Clean Water Implementation Division. I'm joined today by our Division Manager, Mike Scaduto. On behalf of our Bureau, LA Sanitation and Environment, and our Director and General Manager, Barbara Romero, I am pleased to present this update on the Safe Clean Water Program and stormwater capture. You may recall our division gave previous updates on the program, with the most recent being in October, and this update will consist of a slide presentation focused on recent developments and the progress made since then. So let's see, can you see my next slide?
It's actually a PDF, and I can't figure out
Oh. Okay, no problem. Oh, can you help me with that?
Mr. Scudas.
Okay, thank you. Apologies. All right, so I'll start by giving an update on the Safe Clean Water Program. As in prior updates, we start with this update with a quick overview of the regulatory drivers for the program, which provide really important context. A revised stormwater permit was adopted in 2021, which included extensive requirements for water quality improvement as a key outcome of the Safe Clean Water Program. City of Los Angeles is subject to 22 TMDLs, some of which have past due and near-term milestones. And City of LA is the partner on 6 watershed management programs and the lead on 5 of those. 89,000 acre-feet of stormwater capture are required to meet our wet weather compliance, which amounts to around $8 billion in investment across the watershed. Our sister division, Watershed Protection, is overseeing a number of activities required by the permit and is also prioritizing a few special studies and increased requirements for administrative compliance with the permit, such as the doubling of annual reporting to biennial. Next slide, please. Just to give a quick refresher on the Safe Clean Water Program itself, it's funded by Measure W, which is a county funding measure that collects property tax based on the amount of impervious area that, and it passed in November of 2018 with yes votes of over 2/3 of voters, resulting in nearly $300 million coming to the county on an annual basis to fund multi-benefit stormwater capture projects. Half of the funding goes to the competitive regional program, and then 40% goes back to the jurisdictions where the funding is collected in the municipal program, and 10% goes to the county flood control district for support of the program. For the regional program, the city overlaps 3 key geographic areas called watershed areas, including the Upper Los Angeles River, Central Santa Monica Bay, and South Santa Monica Bay watershed areas. The map on the right shows these geographic delineations, and the table below shows the amount of anticipated annual return from these areas. Next is moving on to our municipal program. I'll just give a brief update. First, you can see we have light a light green bar on this chart that shows about how much the city receives annually. It's about 36 million. Previously, the city has chosen to conservatively budget around 32 million of this to have buffer in case projected revenues came in short. So far, that leftover amount has been allocated to fill gaps in capital improvement projects experiencing cost increases. Moving forward, we expect the city to allocate a bit more, closer to 34 million every year through the budget process, so we'll have a little less buffer. Next slide. The Safe Clean Water Program is self-supporting. This is a pie chart showing the most recent municipal program budget breakdown as outlined in Schedule 55 of the mayor's budget. You can see around 40% goes toward capital improvement projects, and then another 40% to cover staff time for the program, which has a very heavy administrative burden, such as annual reporting for both the municipal and regional reports, quarterly reports due on the regional program, development of feasibility studies and other applications, as well as other activities needed to compete. Coming up this next fiscal year, for example, there's going to be our first 3-year municipal program audit, and the city will have to do it, and we'll keep you updated on that effort. About 10% is budgeted for O&M currently. Note that we expect O&M needs to continue to grow as more projects are completed and more contract mechanisms to perform work are put in place. This is one of the first new funding sources for O&M of existing projects we've had. So in addition to funding new projects, up to 30% of municipal returns can be budgeted to maintain projects built before the funding measure was passed, such as those funded through Prop O. The next slide. The municipal program capital improvement expenditure program has 15 projects currently, and most of these are in pre-design aside from the 6 projects highlighted above. 5 of those are low-flow diversions, and they're finishing construction this fiscal year. I'm happy to report we just entered an agreement to receive $2.5 million from Prop 84 to reimburse construction costs for some of these projects. And the 6th one is the Ballona Creek TMDL project, which started construction in January and just had its groundbreaking ceremony last week. The project is leveraging a portion of municipal program funding in addition to securing funding from multiple other sources, such as the regional program Prop O and cost sharing with partner agencies. On the next slide, I'll move into the program updates on the regional program. This ring pie chart shows a recap of the regional scoring criteria, where you can see water quality benefits get the highest proportion of points. Below it is a breakdown of the typical regional project approval timeline. Multiple rounds move at once. The stars indicate where we currently are for rounds 3, 4, and 5. For round 3, you can see a blue star, which is toward the end of the line of the timeline. And it shows that we're beginning the process of finalizing transfer agreements now that the Board of Supervisors approved those stormwater investment plans. For round 4, we submitted projects in July of 2022. The WASCs voted in February on which projects to include in the fiscal year 23-24 stormwater investment plans. And these will be heard by the Regional Oversight Committee at the county level tomorrow and will be formally approved by the Board of Supervisors this fall. For round 5, we are in the process of developing feasibility studies and performing outreach events for the proposed projects. The applications to the districts are due at the end of July. Also for the regional program, on the next slide, you can see that each watershed area collects a certain amount of regional funding to award each year. As you can see in the table, Upper Los Angeles River WASC Watershed Area Steering Committee has the greatest amount of funding to award each year at $38 million. Second column shows the 3 proportional return to the City of Los Angeles due to their proportional contribution to Measure W. And then, however, since regional funding is based on a competitive funding cycle, the actual return varies from year to year. We have to fight for it. So to date, the City of Los Angeles and organizations within the city have successfully secured about 95.5% of its proportional funding for fiscal year 21-22 to 25-26 throughout the 3 watersheds. This includes over 100% of our proportional amount to Upper LA and South Santa Monica Bay watersheds. This number is expected to increase as round 5 progresses forward and more funding is awarded for city projects. On the next slide, I show a graph of the amount of money the city projects, including LADWP projects, Streets LA projects, and community proposed projects were allotted, lumped by project lead and round received for the first 4 completed rounds. You can see the most funding is for capital projects, and rounds 1 and 2 were really big for us. The current round 4 is proving to be successful, as it looks like the city of LA was able to secure around $57 million in Safe Clean Water funding. Due to the limitations of the regional program funding and previous funding commitments and tighter application and scoring guidance, the regional program will likely continue to become even more competitive and limited. This table shows how much money for city projects has been programmed across the years by department and bureau to benefit all of the city LA's residents. For perspective, so far the program has already brought in over half of what Prop O brought in over the course of 30 years. Moving on to my next slide, on the round 4 results. As mentioned, round 4 projects were selected by their respective WASCs to be included in the stormwater investment plans for this round. 8 of the 11 submitted projects in the city of LA were recommended to be included. And these projects are shown here in green and include 5 LA San-led infrastructure and O&M projects, 1 Streets LA infrastructure project, and 2 community proposed technical resources that total the $57 million that I mentioned earlier. These projects are expected to be approved by the Regional Oversight Committee soon and the Board of Supervisors before finally being able to receive the funding. On the next slide, I just wanted to highlight a couple of projects. On the left here, we have the Machado Lake Ecosystem Rehabilitation O&M project. This project is expected to be awarded $3.8 million to fund operations and maintenance for the Prop O Machado Lake project over 5 years. The project will include maintenance of the existing stormwater components and landscaping investments. On the right side, we have the Hollenbeck Lake Rehabilitation Project. This is a new infrastructure project that's anticipated to receive $32.4 million in Safe Clean Water funding. This project will use bioswales and dry wells to capture almost 341 acre-feet per year, which is enough water to fill 168 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Our next slide, we mentioned a little bit about the community benefits. The county is in the process of completing their metrics and monitoring study for the program, which is going to quantify water quality and water supply benefits. But internally at LA San, we began tracking community benefits projected to be achieved by all of the projects built within the city. We currently are tracking 26 LA San DWP, Streets LA, and community proposed projects, and roughly 88% of these provide direct benefits to disadvantaged communities, reduce heat island effect, provide recreational opportunities, and provide flood protection. 92% of the projects increase shade and trees by planting a total of around 2,500 trees. On the next slide, we talk about our Round 5 applications. Moving forward, the Round 5 call for project applications are going to be due in July, and LA San and Streets LA are currently moving forward with the development of the following projects on this slide, along with 2 special studies, and we're currently completing our feasibility studies for that. And these proposals are going to be considered by the working group and the Administrative Oversight Committee of the city in May. Here's a slide on the city's administrative refinements. We've been working to develop a watershed investment strategic plan, an on-call design build policy and RFP, and community proposed project support letter policy for the program. The investment strategic plan was passed by the Environment and Energy Committee, which will provide an ongoing roadmap for the city's strategy and collaboration on these projects. The on-call design build RFP and community proposed project support policy are scheduled to be reviewed by the E&E in late May, and once approved, these will be implemented as well. And it's important to mention that on the design build RFQ, if it's approved, it will allow for development of a more efficient way to deliver our projects. On to the stormwater capture update portion of my presentation. For LA San wet weather preparedness, we actually began our preparation efforts before the wet weather season by cleaning over 40,000 catch basins, debris basins, and cleaning drainage channels to prepare and minimize flood incidents. During the actual wet season, October through March, LA San has dispatched emergency crews for flooding investigations, emergency storm drain repairs as well. These efforts have been critical this season. As you can see on the next slide, we've experienced an extraordinary wet season, accumulating nearly 28 inches of rain, which is in our wettest month, January, was nearly double what we had in our average typical year, 1991 to 2000. And then on the next slide, for our existing BMPs, to capture runoff from these storm events, LA San maintains a variety of stormwater best management practices, including greenways, green streets, and subbasins. These constructed projects were primarily funded through Prop O and together have a combined drainage of over 23,000 acres. For stormwater capture benefits, as these storms continue to increase in intensity and frequency, on the next slide, please, thanks. More stormwater projects are going to be needed to capture runoff to improve water quality and increase local water supply. The City of LA has had much success in funding additional stormwater projects through the Safe Clean Water Program, and once all currently funded projects are complete, over 13 billion gallons will be captured for both potable and non-potable uses, augmenting local water resiliency within the communities of LA. Just to put on your radar a few upcoming Board of Public Works items, we wanted to give you a preview. We recently had the commissioning of the two, or actually we're expecting the commissioning of the two Arroyo Seco and 3 LA River low-flow diversions this spring. So and also for the regional program, we're currently finalizing the Ballona Creek TMDL project partner cost-sharing MOA, so that's going to be expected to go before the board. For Round 4 projects, once approved in the SIP, the transfer agreements will be brought forward for your consideration as well to accept the funding. Lastly, I just want to highlight that in our flood control program, 2 projects, the Central Jefferson High Green Alley and Quincy Joan Green Alley, were recently completed this fiscal year, and these projects conducted very successful ribbon-cutting ceremonies this past March. So that concludes my presentation. My manager, Michael Scuduto, and I are here to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Santillan, for your very, very thorough report, and I really enjoyed your how you were able to lay out your information. Thank you for that. Sometimes that's really important for us sometimes because we just want to see the info, and the layout is actually pretty nice. So I just wanted to say that. But and there's more. Are there any questions from my colleagues? Vice President Villegas?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Susie, for your reports. You're always so thorough. Excellent work by your division and just the staff. I really like just the collaboration with other agencies as well, and just, highlighting the partnerships. Just a few questions just on audit and then on funding areas. The audit that you mentioned just after 3 years, are we hiring an outside agency or firm to be able to do that audit for us?
Yeah, we'll be piggybacking on a contract with the Controller's Office to get an independent auditor to come in and assist with that.
Okay. And they will be looking at our current contracts that we have, or how will that, what are you looking for?
Yeah, they're going to review our municipal program, I guess how the various records we've been keeping on it. We're still kind of looking to the county to provide more guidance on what they're looking for, as that's a requirement of the program.
All right. And then just the cleaning of our channels, just wanted to get a little bit more information on just how that's funded.
Mike, do you want to jump in on that one?
Good morning, Mike Scuduto with Sanitation. Primarily the flood control and the cleaning is still primarily funded through the Stormwater Pollution Abatement Fund. That's a fund that we've had in place over numerous years. Just applies to the city, it's another parcel tax, or parcel fee, base fee. It's very, very small. It has not increased over the course of the years to keep up with the demand of maintenance, but it's currently generating 28 million. And a portion of that does go towards the operation and maintenance of previous flood control elements.
I was only asking that, I wasn't sure if we were using any of our Safe Clean Water or municipal funds to enhance that work?
No, as of now, no. Again, Susie mentioned that under the Safe Clean Water Program, only 30% of our local return can be used to operate and maintain previous infrastructure that we had prior to that. So right now, we're okay. We're keeping a close eye on it, but it's still primarily funded through SPA.
Okay, all right, thank you. And last is just a comment just on the metrics and the monitoring. I appreciate just all the good work and highlighting all of those and just wanting to at least, share that information with others as well, seeing that the projects that we're doing are impacting so many communities that would be benefiting from them. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Commissioner Reyes?
Just piggybacking on what VP Villegas, some comments. My concern is on O&M. As we get a lot of those grants and funding, are there other sources that you're looking at in order to ensure that for O&M and sustainability purposes for future years, are there other sources that we're looking at or targeting? I know that there's going to be a lot of money for infrastructure coming our way, and I just want us to be reminded always that that O&M portion will be a dent on our budget, and are we looking into other sources of funding for that?
Sure. Did you want to take a shot at it?
Yeah, currently, we're not. We're taking a look, and I remind you that Propo was a good start for us to put projects in the ground. It did not fund the O&M. And so we are now going back retroactively and identifying what those needs are for those existing projects. And then we're going to have to make some tough decisions moving forward with our municipal program. Do we want to continue to fund new infrastructure projects or prioritize our O&M? The one unique thing about the regional program is it does offer the opportunity for applicants to submit applications for O&M. And the intention is that from the program, at least hearing from the county, is they have every intention on making it a priority to fund O&M for projects that came out of the regional program. We're a little bit unique in the city is that we're ahead of the curve with having Propo and having regional projects in the ground. And as Susie mentioned, we've been successful to submit applications for both Echo Park and Machado Lake, which are really regional projects that were funded through Propo. And we have secured funding from the regional program, even though the regional program did not fund the infrastructure part of it. So we always want to look at the regional program as an option for those large projects.
That's good that we're looking into that and that in the future, keep that in mind. I keep an eye for opportunities for more funding. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Reyes. Vice President Villegas?
Yeah, I just wanted to make one more comment so that we have it on record. All this funding that we've been doing for projects also benefits the local economy, seeing that, our board obviously approves these contracts and these projects are large, so they do use PLAs. And so our labor friends are also able to benefit just through work and the tax dollars being remitted back into the city. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good point. Thank you, Vice President Villegas. I don't see any other questions. I don't have any questions. I've been, on top of what we're all doing, but I'm excited that a lot of these projects will continue. And you guys just had three, did you say 2 or 3 just opened in March?
We had ribbon cuttings for 2 and a groundbreaking for a 3rd.
Exciting. I'm sure it's going to keep going. And Michael, you've been at the helm of this from a very long time, so thank you for your work as well. Other than that, I don't have any questions, and I don't see any other questions. Dr. Davis?
Yeah, I just wanted to observe, I'm very pleased to see the revenue-generating activity that we have been able to achieve from the work that you have done, and the fact that we have gotten, I think you said, half of what we had from the state funding some time ago is really of note. So thank you so very much for that effort.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't see any other questions, comments. Thank you both for being here this morning and appreciate your presentation. Look forward to continuing these very special and innovative projects you guys are doing. And I look forward to more ribbon cuttings because we're only making the city better by providing these type of projects. And these are very long-term type of projects that the city and the residents will benefit not just now, but in really years to come. And it's a model for a lot more projects that we're doing in the city. So thank you for doing all of that.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Have a good rest of the day, both of you. All right, colleagues, any other seeing no questions, comments? Thank you very much. TJ Knight, have we cleared our desk?
Yes, we have, Madam President.
Great. Just a reminder, this Friday we will not have meeting in observation to Ramadan, but it is not a city holiday. We are just observing the holiday through our meeting process here. So with that said, and another announcement, Commissioner Reyes?
Just wishing everyone happy Earth Day on Saturday.
Correct.
We do have our Hyperion Treatment Plant Earth Day event that starts at 10 a.m. Thank you.
At Hyperion in Council District 11 and provided by LA Sanitation. All right, so with that said, it is 12:09 and this meeting's officially adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the week.